Hello, and welcome to episode 609 of Prog Review. Because I'm desperate for views, we're covering another Yes album. This time it's Yes's, wrong way round, Magnification. It's their 19th studio album, harks back to the 10th of September 2009. Yes, it was indeed released a day before the Twin Towers fell. That kind of puts it in perspective, doesn't it? Oh, I'm more depressed now. So, what is Magnification? Well, after, I think it was the Masterworks tour, and Igor Koroshev left the band, I have to do it. They decided that they were going to use an orchestra. They were going to go back to their roots, like they did with Time in a Word, and use an orchestra with their arrangements. And so they employed the talents of a fellow called Larry Group. Is it Group or Group A? He's got a little widget over his ear. Group A, Mr. Group A, to do the orchestrations, and he used the San Diego Symphony Orchestra to do all the strings and things. And yeah, I mean, first of all you've got to get past that. That's the big problem with the record, is there are strings and no synthesizers. It's a very brave move when people like Rick Wakeman and Patrick Moraz and Jeffrey Downs and Igor Koroshev is they're making whooshy noises and things, and to have that taken away from your sonic armoury, how's that going to work out? Now, I got this when it came out, and I got the limited 2-disc edition. I think you can pick it up off of eBay for £1 now, probably. And I'm trying to think back. Oh, think back, Darren. But all I can think about is the Twin Towers falling. Now, I remember sitting on the back step of where I used to live in the sunshine. It would have been the autumnal sunshine. Listen to this on headphones, and not being offended by it. I wasn't offended by it. It was interesting. I wouldn't say it made a big impression on me, but it was certainly an interesting record. They were trying to do something different. It felt different. It felt like it was Yes, but it was a different slant on what they did. Now, again, one of the big problems with this is it's a 60-minute record. It's one of those hour-long slogs, and I do think there's some stuff on here that is a little bit surplus to requirements. It opens with the title track Magnification, which I think is a stonker. I really enjoy it, and it's got all those those bits, those little flourishes that you expect from a Yes song, and it feels very much like Yes. And you've got the strings, and you think, oh, this isn't too bad. It's not too bad. I quite like this. This is working for me. Same goes for Spirit of Survival, which is the second track up. Again, it feels very much like a Yes track. Quite like it. It's got an edge to it, isn't it? Which I enjoyed. Bit darker than usual, but that's not so bad, is it? Quite like that one. Don't Go. It's we're getting to the Faye territory of Yes, and Give Love Each Day, and like those 4 tracks, I think are fairly solid. They're not brilliant. They're not, but they're not as bad as they could be. Can You Imagine is a track that is an old track which goes back to XYZ days, apparently. Yes Zeppelin, if you're aware of that project that didn't really take off. And Squire does the vocals with Anderson on the backing vocals. It's alright. Can You Imagine? It's okay. It's short. It doesn't upset me too much. But yeah, compared to this, I'm just thinking the dogs are barking and putting me off. I'm ever so sorry. Our neighbour's running a dog hotel in his council property, which he shouldn't be running a business from, and it's distracting me. And this is why I'm not making videos during the daytime so much, because every time I put the camera on, those fucking dogs start barking. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. So if I suddenly just veer off like that, it's because it's really distracting. This is why I don't make videos when the kids are around, because that distracts me too. I have to be, to produce this kind of shitty content, I have to be in the zone. In the zone. So yeah, we agree is a kind of, everyone's burying the hatchet kind of song. It's pleasant. Wish they could do that now. I wish everyone could be happy. If there was only one giant, multi-headed, multi-armed, multi-limbed supergroup slopping around. Imagine that, like a transporter malfunction in Star Trek, where they're all melded together. If only Yes could be like, but not. We have 2 Yeses now. There might be 3 by the time you've watched this video. Who knows? Or it could be just 1. You never know. You never know what's happening in the world of Yes. It's pleasant enough. Soft as a Dove is a very stripped back song. Anderson on his own. It's kooky. I kind of like that. I kind of like it because it's John Anderson doing his little, it's me, Mr. Crichton Stanley. Oh, love great. Oh, I like love. He's doing that kind of song. Dreamtime is, who remembers ABWH? Do you remember that? Do you remember ABWH? There was a song on there dealing with those kind of topics, and I always think of Dreamtime on this album as almost like the illegitimate brother of that song. Again, okay, goes on a bit. This and what was I going to say? Give Love Each Day. They're clocking. I mean, that's 10 minutes. The other one is 7. Strip them down a bit, and then you got the epic, which is In the Presence Of. It's right. I know they played it live, and it's like, but I'm not. I just. But it's kind of Yes, isn't it? It's But by this time, my interest is again. I think there are some bits on here that could be just jettisoned. Maybe I'm just it's fatigue. I don't know. And finally, Time Is Time rounds off the album, which is 2 minutes 9, and it's a very short track and it's pleasant enough. Again, I think this is a bit of a divisive album. I know some people don't like it, some people do, some people are indifferent. I'm kind of in the middle. I think it's an interesting, they tried to do something different. Whether or not it worked, I don't know. Again, I think it's down to length. I think 60 minutes albums are always a bit iffy. Double albums, you've got to have good material if if you're heading towards the double album mark. Again, there's probably a good 40-minute album in here. I don't know. There'll be many who disagree. Because the CD generation are used to having all this content on a record, whereas we all know that the best albums are between 34 minutes and 37 minutes in length. Everybody knows that. Look at what the Beatles did. So yeah, I mean there was quite a few different versions of this as well. There was like a double disc edition where you had some live tracks, cracking version of Gates of Delirium with strings. I quite enjoyed that. There's also a surround sound mix which I haven't got though. I saw there was one on eBay, so I've put a bid in for it because I could review that, couldn't I? That'd be annoying. Do a little reviewy type thing. And then there's this. They did a vinyl reissue a few years back. I'm not sure exactly when it was. 2013. That's a few years, isn't it? No, it's about 5 years ago now. But you've got to look at this. You've got to look at this because look at this. Look at it. It's on. I've touched the bloody vinyl. Oh, it's ruined. But look, it's on purpley vinyl. Isn't that cool? It's on lovely purpley vinyl. And it's very pleasant to listen to. So there you go. If you've not seen it, there it is, and you can sing along with the words and that. So yeah, I mean, it's it's an okay record. It's not bad. In the run of Yes records, there's stuff here that works. I mean, again, Magnification, Spirit of Survival. I do like those 2 opening tracks. I think they're okay. But again, I don't know about the strings. Sometimes I think it works. Sometimes I think it's keyboards are one of the major characteristics of Yes music. Having synthesizers and keyboards and those kind of flourishes. So it's like I'm trying to think of a comparison. It's like Genesis without Tony Banks. It's like that, or King Crimson without Robert Fripp. Dare I mention their name? But yeah, so it's a bit of an odd concept, really, that you don't have you know, any keyboards in this. You know, it's all been reduced to the strings. So that, you know, that is you know, it's a little bit anemic in that respect. But again, there's part of me respects at that stage in their career, you know, 19th studio album, to actually say, "Hey, we'll do something different. You know, we won't necessarily have a keyboard player. We'll do this." So yeah, it's future looking, experimental. They're trying to, you know, bring in a new element into the band, but like I say, I think it kind of doesn't quite take off. It does. There's not quite a lift off to it, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, when it comes to a rating, I'm going straight down the middle. I'm going straight down the middle. I do like the cover. I do like that. I do like it's kind of mystical and you know, on the shelf. I remember this being in the record shops. This was one of their lowest selling records apparently. What did they say? I did say it got to number 71 in the UK album charts and 186 on the Billboard 200. And that's a shame because it's miles better than Heaven and Earth and even Fly Through Me. I think it's, you know, it's different enough. Whereas Fly Through Me was a, you know, kind of rehash of lots of old ideas. From it being an original work. I'm talking in circles. So yeah, it gets two and a half, two and a half, two and a half dream times, I think, out of 5. That's 2.5 dream times out of 5. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to engage. What do you think of it? Do you think it works, or do you think it's just a terrible misstep? Should they have got Patrick Moraz back to play with them or something? I don't know. And hopefully the background music will drown out the sound of dogs barking. I really could lose my temper with someone over this. Ah, boy. What are you going to do about it, eh? What are you going to do about it? Not a lot. And on that, there's only one thing left to say, and that is prog on.